Hello everyone, welcome to Unscripted episode 13 by the Media Club IIT BHU. Today we have Dr. Ashok Kumar, a former IPS officer with over 3 decades of service, an accomplished author, fitness advocate, and recipient of many awards. Good evening, sir.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
So, what inspired you to the transition from an engineer to the Indian Police Service?
Basically, it's the desire to serve, desire to make a big difference in the public or the public. So, in during my internship, which I was doing in Usha Fans, Kolkata, I realized that engineering is not my cup of tea. And that's when I decided that civil services give better opportunities to serve the society, serve the people, to make a big difference. You can see the impact directly. These were the factors. And I would also like to add that my decision was perfectly right. Whatever I thought that I could do 100 times more than that during my service. So my decision was perfect.
So, as we all know, you are also an IITian. So, what was your IIT life at that time? Was like you were in IITs in 1980s. So, what was your IIT life at that time?
IIT life was quite different because my son also did from IIT Delhi. So those days and these days are very, very different. We were a batch of 250. Now the batches are 1000 plus. We had very good hostel facilities. Now hostel is, they're all cuddled. I mean, so much crowding. Second factor. Third is that, of course, these days, you have more facilities, right? Yes, sir. Especially we had the we were the batch when computers had just started getting into IITs. So we used to work overnight to get hands on the computers, etc. So many other things, but those days there was a craze for going abroad, which I didn't like. So I wanted to serve the country. I never thought of going abroad. So first I was thinking of doing engineering, and when I realized that engineering is not my cup of tea, so I shifted to civil services. Yes. Also, people from rural background were few, very few. DPS and all these the high-fi schools and English medium schools, they were more in number. Students from such schools to public schools were more in number.
So, that's really great to know, sir. And you must have been in very complicated situation and like very complicated cases. So आपका थॉट प्रोसेस कैसा रहता है? आप किस तरह से सोचना है इस चीज़ों के लिए स्टार्ट करते हैं कि किस चीज़ को या किसी सिचुएशन का किसी केस को किस तरह से अप्रोच करें? वो थॉट प्रोसेस क्या होता है सर? हाँ, वो जानना है।
देखिए, ये सारा EQ का खेल है। कितना IQ मैटर्स, बट इट मैटर्स ओनली इन द इनिशियल स्टेजेस ऑफ करियर। जब आपको लाइफ में बड़े डिसीजन लेने होते हैं, तो EQ इज रिक्वायर्ड। आपका इमोशनल क्वोशंट कितना हाई है, वो ज़्यादा चाहिए। तो आपको अपने किसी भी डिसीजन का क्या इम्पैक्ट होने वाला है सोसाइटी पे, आपके डिपार्टमेंट पे, उसके अगर मेरा एक स्टेप मैंने लिया, मान लिया मेरे को डिसीजन लेना, मान लिया लाठी चार्ज करना है, तो उसका कितना इम्पैक्ट कहाँ जाएगा, उसको भी मुझे पहले से ही सोच लेना है। अगर मैं वो नहीं कंसिडर करूँगा तो वो उल्टा होने लगेगा। इसी तरह मैंने 2 बड़े डिसीजन लिए लाइफ में। मतलब 2 एग्ज़ाम्पल मैं बताऊँ। एक बारी मैंने इलाहाबाद में, आई वाज़ एएसपी and 10,000 crowd. They had put 2 dead bodies on the bridge, Nani Bridge, one side of Nani Bridge. So blocked everything. So now 10,000 crowd gathered. So many buses were lined up. And then they started, thinking of putting fire to the buses. So I thought this I will not happen. I just pointed my gun to the man. That you do it, I'll shoot you. रुक गया पूरा 10,000 का क्राउड रुक गया एक सिंगल आदमी से. We were only 3 persons. 1 plus 2 my gunners. So that decision timely you have to take. And yes, that matters. Sometimes, a big crowd I handled, they were alleging a fake encounter. I said, if you think it's a fake, I'll go for FIR. Yes. So I offered this compromise point FIR immediately. They wanted arrest. They wanted blood for blood. I said, भाई इन्वेस्टिगेशन तो होगा, जांच तो होगी, आपका एलिगेशन है, मैं एफआईआर के लिए तैयार हो रहा हूँ, अगर इन्होंने फेक किया तो दे विल फेस इट। सो तो एग्रीड किया, ठीक है आप एफआईआर करके न्यूट्रल इन्वेस्टिगेशन करा दीजिए। सो दैट such decisions sometimes are very very important, and our decisions make big impacts, sometimes on individuals, sometimes on a group of people, sometimes on the whole society.
Yes. So, sir, you have also led an operation in UN in Kosovo. So, how did you felt like during that time, like being in, like as you mentioned already, at that point there was a race to go abroad, and you have been there and led a mission. So, how did you felt at that time?
No, the race was not for going to UN and all. The race was for going to US, doing MS, and then getting settled there. So 30 to 40% of my batchmates are settled abroad, even now. We were 80 to 86 batch. So UN, I went from police as a, UN mission users. So Yugoslavia was, getting broken.
Mm.
Now it is 7 countries. There were 7 states that time. So UN, deployed peacekeeping mission there. So I was part of a peacekeeping mission. And there were very heavy, division in the society, Albanians versus Serbians. So we used to keep peace. And I was also in the war crimes investigating unit. So it was a different experience. I would say they don't face so much as the Indian police does. But the experience was we had 52 countries represented in that mission. So I could see the difference between the police of various countries, US, European, American, Canadian, German, British, African. So that was a big experience.
Definitely. Sir, talking about your book, Human in Khaki, what inspired you to write a book? Like, what is the motive behind writing a book like that?
Main motive was usually people have a negative image about the police. And I felt police does so much positive work and it has scope of doing so much positive work, which I had been doing all through my life. I wrote that book after 20 years of my service. So I thought this service gives me so many opportunities. The people should know it. That people in khaki are also human beings, and if they decide, if they are sensitive enough, they can they can deliver within this very system. Usually people keep creeping about the system. यहाँ ये नहीं हो सकता, यहाँ वो नहीं हो सकता, कुछ पॉसिबल नहीं है, ये सब बेकार है. नेगेटिव पीपल कीप स्पीकिंग लाइक दिस. तो मैंने कहा नहीं, इसी सिस्टम में सब कुछ पॉसिबल है. हम ही में गड़बड़ है जो सिस्टम को चला रहे. अगर हम लोग संवेदनशील हैं, हम लोग पॉजिटिव, अगर हम कुछ करना चाहते हैं तो सब कुछ पॉसिबल. ये दिखाने के लिए किताब लिखी. हैव यू रेड इट?
Yes, I
देखो, उससे 15-16 एपिसोड है. यू विल बी mesmerized.
definitely I will go through it.
The kind of difference that you can make. These are all real life stories.
Okay, what you book? If you were to write any other book, like, are you planning to write any other book? So, any instance of your life which you want to, like, you are writing another book. Any instance of your life that you would like to elaborate or give instance in your another book or something like that. An inspiring story.
I have written
Share.
3 books for civil services. Challenge on international security, international relations and ethics. But another book I have written on cyber crime, titled Cyber Encounters, which has been published by Penguin. And internal security has been published by Macro Health.
Mm.
So I do plan to write books, more books. I have various interests. I may write on sports. I may write on some historical, mythological topics, and also maybe some of my experiences in police also. Maybe after a gap, I will write on those also, because Human in Khaki covers 20 years of my lifespan as well. So I served 34 plus years. So that way I can, but I'll keep writing. That is for sure.
Definitely, sir. So, as you are also Vice Chancellor of Sports University, so what are your vision for the nurturing sports in India?
My clear vision is that why we cannot have more medals.
Definitely.
Our maximum medals are 7. So we held a conference, national conference. The roadmap from 7 to 70 medals. कैसे जाएंगे 7 से 70 तक? 70 जाके भी हम टॉप 5 में आएंगे, टॉप नहीं होंगे.
Yes, sir.
अभी तो we are below 50.
Yes, sir.
And we are the most populous country of the world.
Yes.
सो बहुत गैप्स हैं, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में गैप्स हैं, कोचिंग में गैप्स हैं, स्पोर्ट्स साइंस में गैप है, स्पोर्ट्स साइंस की स्टडीज में गैप है। तो अभी तो बेचारे जो लोग कर रहे हैं ना नीरज चोपड़ा जैसे, शेयर विल पावर से कर ले रहे हैं।
यस।
बट सर्टेनली अगर एक इकोसिस्टम बन रहा है जैसे हरियाणा में बन रहा है, ऐसे ही बाकी सभी स्टेट में भी बने हैं। थोड़ा सा इंफ्रा हमारी बेटर हो, अब यूनिवर्सिटीज खुल रही हैं, 7 यूनिवर्सिटी खुल रही है, तो धीरे धीरे उससे स्पोर्ट्स कोचिंग का स्टैंडर्ड बेटर हो, स्पोर्ट्स साइंसेज हर किसी को उसमें आने लगे, एकेडमीज प्राइवेट एकेडमीज का भी सपोर्ट मिले, आई एम श्योर कि वी विल गोइंग टू बिग नंबर्स। लाइक एशियन लेवल पे हमारे 100+ हो गए,
यस सर।
बट एशियन और ओलंपिक में भी कुछ गेम्स में एशियन वर्ल्ड नंबर 1 है,
यस।
पूरा एशिया। बट बहुत सारे गेम में कहीं भी नहीं है, एथलेटिक्स में एशिया कहीं भी नहीं है ऑलमोस्ट, स्विमिंग में कहीं भी नहीं है। तो वो सारे गैप्स भरने ना हमको।
We'll definitely wish that happen sometime. So, what's one piece of advice that you've carried along you throughout your whole career? What's the one piece of advice or something like your motto or something like that that you have carried that you have that helped you a lot in making decisions? And
My primary factor to decide was always human being, that we don't have to leave our humanity, our positivity, and we have to help the victim always.
Ye-
Take those decisions which are in public interest, which are in the interest of the victims. I have kept this motto all through my life.
that's really great thinking, sir.